My dad was the first salesperson for Tuffy's. My grandpa would tell my dad, listen, take a load of dog food and don't come home until it's gone, until it's sold.
Well, my brother Tuffy, what I really remember about him is how generous he was. He wasn't making a lot of money, but he always brought something for Mom and Dad.
He was a horse, and he was a good guy and well-loved. He fell out of a tree one day, and the guys noticed that he didn't cry. So all of a sudden, they decided to call this guy Tuffy.
It was really something to see him back in the early days. It was a lot of work, working on pretty close margins.
My grandpa had a little retail store hatchery and had a lot of partners and vendors he was buying ingredients from, local farmers, and just had a lot of those relationships. And when my dad went to Notre Dame, and when he graduated, he knew he wanted to come back to Perham. And my grandpa knew right away he needed to give his son a project.
And he said, we've got to have a project for you, Kenny. I said, well, you know what, Dad? You got a damn good name. Tuffy's could be a good name for our pet food, so that was easy to do. I had a little econo van. It was a red Chevrolet. I could put 80 25-pound bags in there.
I'm not an educated person, had a tough time making it through high school, but when I got into sales for them, it was absolutely a piece of cake. And the reason it was so easy is because of the quality product that our plant put out.
I mean, we were just so small when we started. But then as we kept growing and finally getting the bona fide, really good equipment, then we started taking off.
Yeah, they started manufacturing in '64. We were in that business only till 1971, and my grandpa was slowing down, retiring, and sold Tuffy's.
My father-in-law worked for Tuffy for 35, 40 years. Across the street here, Tuffy had a hatchery. And when I was born, my folks lived 2 doors down in a brick apartment building over here. I wrote a letter to Tuffy and I said, Tuffy, you know what? If there's ever any opportunities at Tuffy's, we're interested. He gave my letter to Kenny, and that's right when Kenny was thinking about starting Barrel. And he said, Mike, I think I have something for you. I started right after the 4th of July in 1973. I walked in the door and he looked at me and he said, we don't really need you for another week. I said, that's too bad, I'm here today. And he didn't say anything, so I stayed.
I decided that I wanted to try something different, and I liked the direct sell business, which is potato chips and snacks. You get a truck, you drop off your stuff, you get paid. My dad was always the production guy, kind of, so we worked close together, and then he helped me start at Barrel of Fun when I started that business in '74, because he was a good dad. I mean, just said, yeah, I can help you a little bit. The first, 2, 3, 4 years are tough.
We bought equipment that was pretty well used. We had a really good fryer, but it was small. We didn't have much capacity, so we could only run one season at a time.
Just started off on selling the streets and just taking little bags of chips and snacks out to the public and the bars and the restaurants.
We pretty much sold every candy and tobacco jobber in northern Minnesota, North and South Dakota, and Montana. I think the biggest thing that we did to grow the business was that new plant. And I think the same thing is true at Tuffy's. I think once we built that new plant, there's just so much more interest in larger users of those types of products.
Growing up, my dad, it was important for him to care about our employees and make sure that when everything else was struggling, they were always taken care of. They're getting their paychecks, even though times were really tough. My dad always said, it's not a barrel of fun. For many years, it just wasn't. It was tough, and my dad just grinded all the time. He gets up at 4 o'clock, and he's working until 7, 8 at night, and all weekends, and it was kind of part of how we worked as a family.
They used to take a lot of trips to the Twin Cities, and on their way, they would always stop at this big candy store that carried some of Kenny's favorite licorice products. I mean, Kenny just loved licorice.
He just loved candy growing up, loved licorice growing up, and he just, thought that was an opportunity and flew to Europe and jumped into it.
When I was 6 years old, I loved red twists. I decided to start another business, and I thought licorice would be kind of fun, so I went to England, hired a consultant, brought him over here with a bunch of used equipment, put the stuff together, and then the guy helped us with his formulation and so forth. That was the start of Kenny's Licorice.
You know, we started basically with the twists and stuff like that, but then this kind of soft and chewy hunk kind of came about wanting to do it, and the brand and the original bags and the Wallaby character, that was all created in-house.
We just have developed a hell of a label. I mean, it's just been unbelievable.
So then in 2001, Tuffy's became available to purchase. It was going to be shuttered. It was going to be closed down. A large operator was just consolidating volume and didn't need Perham. It's a mantra that sticks with me today is he just knew there were great people there. He just thought, we got to keep it up and running. I hit the road and really enjoyed those 10 years in particular of building a brand. And fast forward to today, again, we're still making good licorice. Wiley Wallaby is a fun label for us. We've got a fun runway yet with that brand. And, you know, we do popcorn with Sweet Chaos, and pet food is our largest division yet today. And we have a fun NutriSource brand there.
Seeing the company grow like it has, it just gives me a sense of huge pride from being so small and just on the barrel fun side doing potato chips and popcorns, seeing Kenny's Candies, to see Wiley Wallaby out there growing as it is, gives you a pride that's unspeakable, really.
You just see a lot of things coming and going, and you know, we've generally been a staple for that long, and I think we've got some pride in that.
Our priority is and has always been the employees.
The KLN business is about the 900 people that work for us every single day.
Well, the reason we're here like this is because we started with such good people, farmers, basically. I'm telling you, they just rose to the occasion. They were here at work all the time, and most of them had big families, and a lot of the kids worked for us and stuff, and it was just a fun venture, to say the least.
And to see people here, some of the people that have been with the company for 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and they're still there, and it's just great to see them grow, their families grow, the community growing with the plants themselves.
I just think we keep getting better because of our employees. They have chances to move up in our company all the time, which is really, really cool.
At the end of the day, we're in manufacturing, you know, and that's looked different over the years, of course. I look back at, you know, really what was my grandpa's goal and what was my dad's goals, and I think in a lot of cases, at least originally, it was job creation.
You know what? It's been exciting. Barrel of Fun and Tuffy's were big deals for the city of Perham. Created a lot of employment. I think over the years that Tuffy and Kenny were responsible for creating several thousand jobs for the people of Perham in this whole area, by the way.
Yes, we make candy, we make pet food, but our business is truly about our people.
I am most proud of the culture we're driving here. I think we've always tried to treat people right, how there's more collaboration than ever, leadership and development, succession planning. It is so much fun to see what all of our people are doing for each other in times of need.
I feel like one of our strongest core beliefs is our give back piece. We do give about $1 million a year to different charities and organizations that are very deserving. It's so easy to give. Service dogs and then hospital dogs. We're now in Boston Children's, Kansas City, and at the University of Minnesota, Fairview Children's Masonic. That's who we are, and it's not words, it's who we've been taught to be.
I'm the most proud of what my dad started and what Kenny has done with how they have treated people and how they give back. I think he's looking down on us with a sense of pride and just like, God, they did it, you know, all the way down to the third generation. They did it.
It's just been a fun run. You know, I just had a good dad, and he gave back to the community like we do. And
I get the chance to be at KLN every single day, but would not have had that opportunity if there weren't folks like Tuffy Nelson and Kenny Nelson to have this vision of what a business in Perham could look like. It's really crazy to think that we have been in manufacturing for 60 years.
To watch it grow from 2 employees, 10 employees, to hundreds, 900 employees has been incredible, and I think there's a lot more that we can do.
I don't think we're done. I think we'll find the next thing, you know. It's just kind of what we try to do, wake up every morning, think about where the opportunities are.
Oh, I mean, he would be shocked. I mean, to see how we make things today compared to how we used to make him when he was still living.
I think he'd be, blown away, and yet, he was just a cutting edge thinker at the same time. And I think he'd be extremely proud of my dad, and I hope he'd be proud of me too.
This is unbelievable. It's honestly unbelievable of what this small town has done.
It's just so proud to be involved with this family and got paid for it.
It's all about people. We have amazing people here. We really do. At the end of the day, we enjoy what we do, and we enjoy the relationship with the community, I can tell you that. I can't imagine not being a prominent employer in Perham, Minnesota for generations to come.